Hello, my name is Damon Pie, and welcome back to the Banner Saga. Now, unfortunately, my audio for this that I recorded while I was playing it did not work properly. There was a fan in the background that made it almost listenable. So now instead, I'm going to just be talking over the video, since I don't want to have to restart the whole game, and this seems like the best way of doing it. So this is pre-recorded footage that I'm talking over. Sure enough, Dredge are gathering in number. Fear threatens to bubble over into panic. How long do we need to keep this up, you ask? Ivor shakes his head unknowingly. That's a bad sign. Now, we're talk about where we are right now. We're in chapter 2, the very beginning of chapter 2, and we are with Rook and his daughter Alette, and they are currently being attacked by Dredge. As we're far to the east of where we were in chapter 1. So, this is turn order, which has to do with the order in which your guys go. So, you generally want to have your melee fighters going before your archers, so you can move them forward and take up defensive positions and whatnot before moving your archers in. So here we go, here's the first battle. We are 4 people, 4 of our guys against 4 of these Dredge. And just so you know, I did not do amazingly in this battle. I'm getting better with combat, but I've only had about 3 combat things right now. I'm still learning the basics. There's things about the UI that I'm not aware of, or I wasn't aware of at the beginning of this recording, which I am now, and which would have helped me a lot. So, as you can see here, I'm going to move my Varl forward to try to take the brunt of the damage from the 3 up there. I'm going to have that guy with the shield to the right, the human, focus on the smaller guy to the who's now underneath the bar, and my archer is going to stay back and shoot. Now, I'm still not quite sure how best to use my bar. He seems to always die no matter what whatever battle I'm in, because I do send him to the front to try to take the brunt. He is the strongest person I have, but everyone focuses on him, and he just doesn't live, which is not great. I mean, people don't die if if they fall in battle. That doesn't necessarily mean they die, especially if it's a hero. That just means they're wounded. It means they've been knocked down. That means that those last until the next battle. They will do have less health and do less damage in the next battle until they are recovered, but it's something you don't want to happen. So I believe I'm currently talking about going over how damage works and the whole armor and strength, and how your strength is both your attack and your health, and reducing someone's health means that they do less damage, and reducing the armor means that you can do more damage to them, and also increases your chances of hitting them. For each point that their armor is higher than your attack, you have a 10% chance to miss. That's how it goes, yeah. Now, at this point, I was not aware that if you mouse over a tile, you can tell which people you can attack, because there'll be a little red icon above them. So I was trying to figure out if I could move forward far enough to kill him, and I figured it out, but it was I overcompensated pretty much. So you can see there's a red 5 under the enemy's name. That means I can attack him for 5 from that position. From anywhere else, it would change to whether I could attack him or not. So at this point, I probably should have used that willpower to reduce his damage a bit more. just because, you know, willpower is there to be used. You might as well use it. What am I up to now? Yeah, so Alette has a special ability where she can shoot through multiple targets. But since there's only one target there, there's not much point to do that, especially since there's someone in the way. I'm not sure if Alette can... No, I think Rook can actually move through people. I'm not sure if he can shoot through people, but I don't think Alette can do either, so here I'm gonna reduce the Dredge's damage a bit more. I think, yeah, he's definitely the one that dies first. The problem is that we have all those other guys up north of them. We have 3 guys left, and they're all at pretty much full health. So although we have one, I mean, sometimes it's a decent idea to just ignore someone if they're low enough health, because they just can't. All they can really do is attack your armor, and while having lower armor sucks, it's better to reduce someone who can actually kill you and take them out first. Especially since if their attack is low enough, they're just going to constantly deflect things. So I just had to kill him. Now we have the big guy move forward and attack. He's reducing my armor so that he can deal more damage and have a higher chance to hit me. I'm not sure what his armor is, the big guy's armor is right now, but the big dredges. So I'm going to reduce this guy's armor because he's way too high. I could do, I think, 1 damage to him, which is not enough to be worthwhile. And now the battle progresses quite well. Or at least it looks it so far, though my big bar is getting quite low. I'm not sure what I do from this point on. So what I should do right now is obviously attack the smaller guy, since I can actually do a decent amount of damage to him. What I was considering doing was reducing the armor of the bigger guy, but there's not too much point in doing that at this point. Well, there is, but it makes much more sense to attack the guy who's actually a threat. Whether or not I do so, I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, there you go. Made the right decision. Take him down to 4, so you can only do 4. I mean, you can't even do any damage to me. That guy, however, can. I'm pretty sure that guy ends up killing him. Alette, from this point, can only attack one person. You can see that highlighting red glow underneath the one I can attack from that point. Now, if I mouse over these squares that she can move to, I can see which ones I can attack without moving first. But I think that was still the best thing to do, is just take that one out, because even if his damage is low enough, it still is not enough to help out. Now with this guy, he has a special ability with battering ram, which sends someone way back. And I think I did the right choice here in knocking back the huge guy, just because he's such a big threat. I took him out of the action. He had to spend a turn getting back, but that does again leave me open to the guy on this side who's about to kill him. If I had knocked that guy back instead, I would have done more damage to that guy than I would have to the big guy, just because I would have knocked him through the big dredge. But it was still a decent thing. But now I'm not doing too great at this point. I'm not sure what I could have done better, besides maybe playing a bit more defensively. I think breaking armor here was the way to go. Yeah, because I could not do any damage to him, and that gives me a chance. So now this guy has to spend, well, I don't know about spending a turn. See, that's an interesting thing, because it completely reduced that guy's armor down to 0, so he'll take full damage. And this is the major mistake I made right here, and why I lost way more people than I should have. I should have just attacked that guy and killed him. The guy was the smaller dredge, but instead I decided to move there, which I didn't realize at the time that I couldn't attack from there, so I'm too far away, which sucks because I could have won him, and now instead he does get to do some extra damage to my person who's holding the shield. So yeah, not the best thing to have done. So all I could do was enter, and now he does 4 extra damage to him, and now I get the chance to kill him, which I should have done the turn before. So yeah, take him out a little bit too late. Now I have only the big guy left, the big dredge left. And he starts by immediately taking out a guy who wouldn't have been, I don't think he would have been taken out if that hadn't happened. If I had made that mistake, I think he would have still at least lived. That would give me a better edge against the big dredge. But I know now at least what I'm doing. And again, I make a mistake here of getting too far away from the action, so I can't actually attack him. And that was completely. I mean, I shouldn't even done that. It wasn't even the fact that I didn't know that I could see the attack. I just completely fucked up there. So now Alette is going to have to run, and I think this is where I realize that I can see from what points I can attack. So I figure I'll move far enough away so that he can't attack me. The problem is you can't actually see the movement capability of your enemies. You can't see how far they can move. At least I don't think so. Maybe if I clicked on him, it would have shown me how far I could move. But oh well. But I decide to move far enough, as far as possible, walk back, but close enough so that I can still attack him. Possibly I should have moved to the west more rather than to the south, so I could get the dredge as far as possible from Rook to give him a chance to shoot him from afar. But seeing as the guy's range is so big, I don't think it would have affected it. So instead, I still moved to a decent spot. It took me ages to figure this out. I think just now I figured out that I can see there from where I can attack them, from where I can't. So attack him and reduce armor. So you can see that there's only 40% chance to hit, which is not good enough. So reduce the armor so I can do more damage eventually. But now she almost gets more than half her health taken out in one hit. Now I hopefully, yeah, I know now. So I move forward to the right spot so I can do damage. And I think I reduce armor again. Yeah. Now if I hadn't reduced, if I had done damage instead, no. Even if I had reduced damage, he still would have one hit. So we one hit Alette. So there was no reason to reduce damage there. Breaking the armor was the right call. Now I noticed that Alette, being an archer, can't actually attack from point blank. Rook can, because he does have an axe as well as a bow, but Alette can only shoot, so she needs to move further away. Now this is another point where I maybe should have gone the other direction, but I don't think it would have affected too much. So here I reduced armor again, giving Rook as big as a possibility as possible to take him out, and goodbye Alette. Not dead, but knocked out and injured. And now I move far away. And now there wasn't really much reason for me to move, but there wasn't any reason not to move, because if I moved, he would have just moved up to me and attacked. If I didn't move, he would still have to move up to me and attack. So I only moved because I didn't really see any reason not to move, pretty much. So there we go, and attack. Start whittling him down a little bit. And this is why you go in for the attack, when you can actually start doing damage and reducing his attack. Because if he attacked me right now, he would do 3 damage. Because Rook still is at full armor and full health, so he'd be able to take quite a few hits from someone like this, especially since his armor is so low. I mean, it's an interesting combat system, and it's really fun to work out, because it gives you a lot of options. You have to figure out the best way of when to destroy armor, when to attack. And there's guidelines, but it's really depends on like the layout of the battle. See here, I can attack because I have an axe, so close range, and I just take him out. Taking down now, we can only do 3. I'm not sure. Okay, well. So yeah, now he's down to really low health, and so he can barely even attack me even with my lowered armor, and I take him out. And the battle is won. But at what cost? We lost most of our guys, although you can see that they didn't die, because they're still leveling up. They just were injured. Getting killed in combat does not mean that character does not necessarily mean that character dies. Okay, yeah, so this part is telling you about difficulty and telling me I should maybe reduce the difficulty, because I suck. But, yeah, I'm staying on normal. I'm certainly gonna improve, eventually. So yeah, this first episode.